Hi, hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you all have joined us today. I think we're gonna have an amazing session, and like all of you all know, we're going to be talking about basics of real estate marketing. So the art of attracting qualified buyers. Like if you see on screen, we have a collective experience of close to 3 decades right now, and I think the amount of information, the kind of strategies and the tactics that all three of them will have to share, I'm sure we'll be taking a lot of notes during this 1 hour. I will also, there'll be a few instructions for the audience that I would request you all to keep engaging with us and the speakers on chat. You can drop in hi, hello, wherever you all are from. And I would also encourage you all to ask lots of questions because we'll have the last 10-15 minutes open for audience questions. So with that, I think I'll hand over the stage to Atharv, and thank you so much, and we can introduce the speakers.
Perfect. Thank you, Jagriti. Thank you for a warm introduction. Thank you, everyone, for joining this call. And with this, I think we'll start with a quick introduction of all of us. So I'll start. So I'm Athar. I'm handling Middle East as a region and specifically working with real estate from last 1.5 years. And I haven't seen a very closer loop in terms of the brokerage and the development market, specifically for Dubai and the way that's shaping. So that's one point that I've been very interested in working upon and having more insights about. And with that, looking forward for this session and great speakers on us with today, Mr. Abhijit and Mr. Naveen. So I think we can start with a quick introduction with, I think, Mr. Naveen to go with first.
Hi, my name is Naveen. Been in the real estate marketing industry for about almost 8 years. And I have both developer as well as broker side marketing. So top of the funnel as well as, the lead generation part of it, hardcore lead generation part of it. So I used to work with Scoba, and I would say my experience was burning about 500,000 dirhams per month, learning what not to do. So so that gives me a lot of edge over a lot of other people. I was lucky enough to burn that much money, and basically understand how it works basically. So having said that, looking forward to the session, and thank you so much, Atharv and Jagriti, for having me here. Abhijit, on to you.
Thank you, sir. So my name is Abhijit. I'm working in Dubai real estate market for last 4.5, 5 years now. I'm working with a firm called Midas, looking into marketing operations and sales as well. My experience in Dubai real estate marketing is more or less towards broker side only. So I didn't had the luxury of spending 500,000 dirhams. But yeah, it has been a very good ride to constrain with the kind of budget that brokers give you and generating top quality leads in that. So that has been my niche. Thank you, Atharv, for having me. Thank you, Jagrati, and thank you, Naveen, sir. Yeah.
Perfect. I think thanks, Mr. Naveen and Abhijit, for such a great introduction. I think, yes, this is one of the key aspects that we have seen a good amount of interest coming for this webinar as well. People are looking forward to optimize the entire cost. And operationally, I think with such a small area and cost per lead is obviously a bit high and a competitive market where you've got 65,000 plus brokers or agents where they're working with. So it's all about how efficiently you are able to get those leads into your funnel A, B, how efficiently your sales team is following up on these leads and you have a built-in tech system to support it. Yes, we do see a different sort of personas here and there where they do have exclusive segments or they're working with niche customers. But at the end, it's all about customer acquisition. So that's where. So I think we'll start with first discussing about for the viewers who have joined us and who are new to the space or who are still exploring about the opportunities to get the brief about the industry. So what is the current landscape of real estate marketing in UAE and how different the business prioritize their marketing goals is, I think, the first most important parameters. And to start with, I think Mr. Naveen and Mr. Abhijit, we can start on this.
Okay, let me give a brief, what do you call it, landscape of the whole thing. So real estate market is basically open to everybody in the world, because Dubai is seen as a haven for or as a safe spot for, for parking your money, basically. So a lot of people from everywhere, wherever there is a war-torn country, or whether, where there is chaos, people are looking to, to park the money and then, keep the money in Dubai. Real estate is the answer to that. Having said that, because the money fluctuates, like if you're looking at a London market, which is very stable, it's a boring market. So why would people invest there? Because there is no fluctuation, there is no, but here, if you can see, like, this previous project that you're looking at, a luxury project which was Palm, Jebel Ali, which was starting at about 15 million. It was sold out, and very next day on Property Finder in Bayut, you had the same 15 million, 25% premium. So people literally made 25% premium on that particular project, just by being at the right spot, right time, with the right broker. Okay, a lot of people out of the 65,000, a lot of these brokers tried their hands at it, and they were like, you must have seen those visuals, where there is a huge line, and a lot of people were disappointed. So this
Right.
is what is keeping the market alive. That whole idea of, it's basically a lottery for some people. And for many people, it's also like, if I gave you 3 million, what would you do? Okay, you put it into two one-bedroom apartments, put it on a holiday home, and you have passive income which is going on. So for even those kind of people, many people don't even know that they are capable of doing that. They've been in the industry, they've been like working as an, maybe a chartered accountant or a doctor, or whatever profession which gives you about 15,000 plus salary. You can get around 30 times your salary as a mortgage. People don't know about it. All you have to do is take that mortgage, put it into real estate, and you get passive income. You get more money, and you'd be surprised. Dubai gives you the most amount of rental returns as compared to even a city like Bangalore, where it's 100% expats. Okay, so a lot of these people, they don't even know about it. It's our job to educate them as marketeers and tell them that, listen, what are you doing? You're putting your money down the drain, as a rental. Just invest that money, and then you can earn more money than your rental. You can pay your EMI, and you can still have a passive income. And someday you can
Right.
retire. So that sort of a thing. So this is the current landscape which is there, which is going on. And then there is the developer side of it, and then there is a broker side of it. Broker, as Athar rightly mentioned, there are more than 65,000 people, out of which I think around 18,700, if I'm not mistaken, are registered brokers, RERA registered brokers. The rest are freelancers. And trust me, 95% of the brokers are, I would say, unfortunately, clueless about what is happening in the industry. They just run behind leads. Okay, new lead, just call, and then, are you interested in property, sir? No, I'm not interested. Sir, you registered? No, I did not register. That's it. No follow up, no
That's
nothing,
it.
no pipeline. That's it. End of story. And the tone of voice is also like, very desperate, you know. So that kind of kills the whole thing that we kind of, spend money, effort, and all that to generate. And then it goes into the someone who doesn't know what he's doing, and then, just down the drain. So this is the current landscape which is there. And of course, we are burning money on these people who are interested. They have taken the time to register, and then because you're a little clueless, or you don't even have the conduct to talk to people, you burn money into this. I don't know if you want
Absolutely.
anything to add, Abhijit, to this.
No, no, rightly said. The market is performing really well. Everyone is buying their second home in Dubai. Everyone is investing in Dubai. Also, the mortgage part you rightly mentioned. So the interest rate are really low when we compare it to countries like India, right? So you are getting a rental yield of say 8, 9, 10%, and you're getting mortgage at say 5%. So that's any day a good deal to take, right? So yeah, people are investing. And onto the later part, yes, out of the 65,000 brokers that you mentioned, 99% are just clueless about what's happening in the market. So they're just running behind leads like anything, and probably killing the leads in all ways possible, right? But yeah, it is a good market to be in. It is a very competitive market. Every day you get to learn
Hmm.
a lot in terms of marketing as well, because it's so competitive. So right.
Great. I think so. Thanks, Abhijit and Mr. Naveen. So, what I have taken from here is that before even jumping on, you should be aware in terms of how the persona is. And
Hmm.
what I have personally experienced from the customers that we've been working from last 2.5 or 4 years is typically the way that you react to a lead. So we
Hmm.
typically call these not as a lead, but as an interest
Hmm.
or as a intent to,
Hmm.
and how beautifully you react or how creatively you react to these interests would eventually become a lead. So that is
Hmm.
point number one. And that could be done through different channels, whether it's sales, as you mentioned, Mr. Naveen, is it voice, or the way that Abhijit mentioned, it's about tech, or the way is an amalgamation of both the personas together.
Hmm.
So I think that really helps the audience in terms of understanding how eventually it can help more. And I think moving back to the next question, which is typically now the question arises, how do we do that? So right,
Hmm.
the marketing generally is a really expensive game altogether, and especially into a competitive market, the cost per lead or the approach is altogether different for different stakeholders.
Hmm.
So how can a company adapt a data-driven approach to maybe
Hmm.
reduce a cash burn and build a positive marketing ROI? Yes,
Okay.
Steven.
So basically, if you segment the the product, what is being offered in the market. So let's say you have, I would say, a sweet spot of about 2 million and below is something that you can attack with Meta. So Instagram, your Facebook, so these are the things which you can get. Because it's a non-intent based platform, so people are not there with an intent to search something, but they are there because they just want to while away their time, and they're looking at what their friends have done and things like that, and suddenly your ad comes in. So like, okay, I would like to see what more is there. It's a beautiful image of a house, and good catchy headline, and like, okay, fine, the marketer has done his job, good advertising, let's look at it, let's put a lead tune. Maybe 20 minutes later, if you call him, he'll be like, oh, I did not even register, because it's non-intentional based thing. Contrary to that, if you're looking at an intentional based thing, which is like search advertising, which is, let's say, Google. So somebody actually says best investment to do in Dubai land, so he knows exactly where he's looking for, and you get like a list of things, and then he registers himself. So that would be in the range of about maybe, up to say about 3.5 million. Below that, you will not get any leads out of a digital platforms. Correct me if I'm wrong, Abhijit.
No, no, that's correct.
Yeah. So if the boss tells you, or the owner of the company tells you that, hey, I want a lead for Palm Jebel Ali, 15 million, use Facebook. Or
Not
I've got 25 million property, secondary property, which is sitting in Shobha Heartland. Sell it for me using social media. Doesn't work. Okay,
right.
somebody has to tell these guys that it doesn't work. Put your
Yeah.
foot down. I mean, you might even get fired for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know so that's the truth of the industry. So anything below 3 million, social media works. Anything more than that, then you need to look at something else, which is content. Okay. So let's say you're looking at Palm Jebel Ali. If you're looking at a premium property, which is a penthouse, Omniat penthouse or whatever, ideally have someone glamorous go there, do a walk around, okay, or talk about the community, talk about the neighborhood, and generate interest, because people are looking at that. When people are putting keywords in YouTube and they're looking at these shots, that is when, oh, that's beautiful, I like that view. Okay. Or I like the way that there is a kitchen or there is a bedroom on the ground floor in that townhouse. That makes sense to me. And then he's like, okay, let me look at it, contact the broker, and then it works. So anything more than that, the luxury, ultra luxury things are pure play on content, and the extreme ultra luxury is network. I mean, you cannot sell a 60 million property or a 360 million property, the highest which was sold in Palm, using social media. That doesn't. I mean, it's a unicorn. It doesn't work. So this is, I think, the landscape or rather the segmentation of how the marketing is done.
Absolutely. I think that was well delivered, Mr. Naveen. So I think so quick insights for the audience as in how to segment your ICP, the
Hmm.
persona, your segment, and then maybe use different platforms to leverage and then generate some interest or generate some leads qualified for your sales team eventually to close. So when we talk about defining your ICPs or segmenting your data, so it's all about data and
Hmm.
data-driven approach. So with that, I think the next question from my end will be that when we talk about having data-driven approach, we should have some tracking mechanism or audit segment where we can have these keynotes or measures with how do I frequently implement these things? How do I leverage with my practices, my content, my video skills? So with this, I think Abhijit, if you can help us understand which all places can somebody who has joined in the audience can leverage and then take it ahead.
See, of course, data-driven approach in real estate marketing is important, right? So you must have a robust mechanism for this. When it comes to this kind of approach, I believe tracking on every level is really, really important. So we can take an example of, say, Google Ads, right? In case someone is searching for a villa in Dubai, right? If your ad is not getting enough clicks, there's something wrong with the ad copy, right? You have to place some tracking measure there as well. In case he's going to
Okay.
your web page and not registering, there's something wrong either with the landing page optimization, right? So you have tools like Hotjar which you can use to check who is spending how much time on which segment of my landing page, right? So these tracking mechanisms are important, not in terms of marketing, but post marketing, post lead generation also, right? I've seen it is from my own experience. Leads are getting generated and nobody's calling them for 3 4 days. So as Naveen sir said, in case you're calling a lead from Facebook after 20 minutes, he'll just say that I didn't register, right? So imagine that being done on third and fourth day. So there are tools like Previer that you can use for that also, right? So on and all, I think these tracking is important in each and every segment. There are multiple tools available out there to do that, right? Meta and Google, both of them have their ad manager, which is equally good in terms of keeping the track in terms of marketing. So yeah, these are all the things that one can possibly do to have a track on these things.
And Abhijit, I remember you mentioning you use tools like
Yeah,
Gupshup, right? Yeah. I mean
right.
that's great. That's a great tool as well. Like
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, see, the thing is, we are all humans. Brokers
Hmm.
are also humans, right? So, it is not practically possible in case he's getting 10, 20 leads a day. It's not practically
Right.
possible to keep a track on each of that lead. That's why we have CRMs. And it's not possible to reach out everyone at the same time, right? So, there's a very high possibility that in case I call a lead which has just popped in and I take 45 minutes on that call, God forbid, that's a very good call if it is going 45 minutes. So in that case, tools like Gupshup, tools like Vati, which are WhatsApp automation tools, they help you a lot. They immediately WhatsApp the client that, hey, thank you for registering. This is the project, right?
Yeah.
They help you nurture the lead very well. And by the time you start calling the client, you also already have a crux of what he's looking for.
Absolutely. I think that's well added, Abhijit. So I think just to add on to that point, it's obviously, for example, if I am as an end buyer or persona, while I'm looking for a property, I would register or one or two or maybe three or four segments of it. So now, if my agents or my company or the broker is taking time to reach out to me, I might end up working with another person.
Hmm.
So what typically works is the person eventually first purchase it emotionally and then maybe logically. So you have to be very thorough and very accurate when you're reaching out to your end prospects. That's one. And as in when these CPaaS tools will help us to show an interest saying that, okay, thank you for signing up. And there's a bot journey. Nowadays, you have a lot of bots which come and you can have an entire script and that gets integrated with Lead Squared as a CRM in the backend to show, let's suppose you want to buy or sell, then you have different options and you would have different segment altogether. So bot is and all of these technologies are eventually helping the end customer experience, making it much more easier, making the technology come in place and helping the business. So when we talk about these bots, this technology in terms of leveraging the customer experience and acquisition, there's also a new topic of generative AI which is coming up and which is helping the business scale faster. And real estate is one of those areas which is more tech driven in terms of the new adoption of technologies, and they are ready to experiment because of the high competitive market. So, what's your thought, Naveen and Abhijit, in terms of the AI consumption, and how does marketers do their works better in terms of this?
You've touched on my favorite subject. All my LinkedIn posts are, currently is about AI. Mm,
Okay.
an exciting, very, very exciting, field to be in. And, for all walks of life, but especially as marketeers. Now, how does
Okay.
AI change everything? There are cases like I know somebody who has actually got um, his page on the first page of Google ranking in a month. Unheard of. Okay, it takes about
That's
six
it.
months if you use SEO, but using AI, he
Mm.
has reached his first page. It's on just about a month. Another tool which allows you to steal pixel information from your
Excellent.
competitors and use it. What else do you want? That guy is spending 500,000 dirhams and I'm spending
Right.
nothing. I've got all the pixel information and bombard, these guys with my information. That's it, those kind of things.
Right.
So, creating content, AI,
Mhm.
like within minutes, you can create an entire month's content calendar. You tell, see, okay, let me put it this way. A lot of people don't actually understand what AI is because they've just used ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT, you just put a prompt in there, but then the whole thing is like put yourself as like a kid, okay, like a 5-year-old kid who is curious enough to know what it is, and then start asking questions as a kid. Okay, treat ChatGPT as your your father figure or whatever, and you're asking all those questions. Write the correct prompts, and tons of prompts are out there, but do your research first, create the right prompt, and then give it to ChatGPT. And then there are tons of other things as well. Some of them cost like $5, $3 per month, as a thing. And then you can, it just, I mean, you're earning like probably 500, 600 dirhams a day as a marketer, right? All you need to do is put $5, and then your entire whatever you're earning is for free, because you have created your content
Absolutely.
calendar, you have created your your landing pages, you have created your presentations, you have created your analysis, everything for $5. You know,
Right.
and if you're clever enough, you can leverage it. I hope none of the bosses are hearing me. you know they will fire the entire department, and put some freshers out there. But this is the truth here. I mean, all you
Yeah.
need to do is go out there, do your research, you know um, cut yourself off from everything. Take some time
Mhm.
out, spend 6 hours, 7 hours on chat gpt, and trust me, it'll change your life. It'll completely change
Absolutely.
your life. It completely change the way you're doing it.
I
Absolutely.
think that was very helpful.
Right. Especially
Yeah, Abhijit.
how the things in terms of content and graphics have changed a lot. So there are tools like Midjourney. Adobe is coming with something which is having generative AI. So I believe we don't need graphic designers anymore. But rest aside all those things in terms of marketing content, also we have AI chatbots, which
Hmm.
possibly can bring down the customer through the entire funnel strategy and just place the right product in terms of what he's looking to buy, right? So there are chatbots available in the market. I've seen in the Canadian real estate market also. So what they do is the chatbot basically interacts with the customer in a way that the chatbot identifies the budget of the customer and then proposes him list of 3 or 4 options that's available right now in the market,
Available.
with the brochures, all the marketing material, and everything else. So the journey of the buyer is hassle free, and the agent also has a lot to offer because he knows, he has the kind of knowledge what the client is looking for. So it will definitely help. And last day also when we were talking, Naveen sir and I were talking, I said that it is a need of the hour, and it's the unpaid intern, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
use it as much as
Hmm.
possible, exploit it, I would say. Wrong word to use, but yeah, it is good to use AI as much as possible.
And also in terms of follow-ups, like human agents, they don't follow up. So if, I mean, there are today, you have even voice,
Yeah,
so
Voice
cold
class.
calling, follow-ups, all those things. And the AI doesn't give up. AI works 24/7. It looks at what time the person called you, it answers the calls, does a follow up. You tell the AI that, call me back at 4 o'clock. It will call you at 4 o'clock sharp. No matter what it is. And at the end of the day, like, you will get a proper structured lead which is rich. You know, so if you've got the journey where you've got the entire thing as to what this guy is looking for, what the client is looking for, his budget, his who are the members who are there in his family, all those details put together, and then all you need to do is go and close a deal. Sometimes you don't even need the guy to close a deal. If you've got like a payment gateway on your website, all you need to do is send him the payment gateway. He'll swipe his card for 10,000 dirhams, yeah, and do a booking. I mean,
Right.
that's the level to what you
Absolutely.
can reach.
Right. Correct. Correct.
Perfect. So I think that was well said, Mr. Abhijit and Mr. Naveen. I think what we have understood is that with the growing market and a competitive spirit, it's important for everyone to use such tools. And as a marketer, it's a good time to evaluate because that is going to be the future. How technically you are able to leverage the ICP is what I see. And when
Hmm.
we talk about all of these segments, I think marketing automation is one more piece where a lot of digital marketing segments are being touched upon, and they are beautifully what I think Abhijit said with the Canada realistic example and bots, and then you have said about the payment gateway. It's all about marketing automation.
Hmm.
How you are able to not only capture the lead, that's one part of the bucket, but over a period of time, sometimes what Abhijit mentioned that a lead would take at least 1.5 year to make a decision, right?
Hmm.
So at that phase of the funnel or the sales segment, as a marketer, I would love to engage with my leads. So, for example, as an international buyer who's not very much aware about the Dubai happening, so I can send them regular newsletters about the rental yields or new projects coming in or the new launches. So that's when I engage my end
Hmm.
user with the new processes, the new upgrades, new projects. And as soon as he fixes up the okay, I need to buy something in Dubai, the first thing which strikes his name is the end broker's agency
Hmm.
name or the
Yeah.
buyer name. So that's when you do a slower marketing, a slower segment of creating an image. It's like you want to buy in Dubai, that person X will help you. You want to buy in Dubai, Y person would help you. And
Hmm.
that can be only leveraged using marketing automation. So that is also our core forte as Lead Square as a brand that we have held close to 40 to 45 odd brokers here in Dubai.
Hmm.
And we have helped these organizations scale up very well in terms of now if you talk about the ROI, the cost of acquisition is more in terms of lead. And what I believe, and I've worked with a lot of real estate companies across this, everybody would have a good database in terms of campaign leads or a cold data and so on and so forth. The way that you churn those leads would eventually become the one of the parameters that you can take it ahead from the other competitors. So in terms of cutting the data into different cohorts, optimizing it. So for example, a use case where I see marketing guys have generated beautifully 100 leads from a campaign and then it goes to the sales. Half of them would go to viewing, site visit, booked, and a bunch of leads would stay in the bucket of a sales user.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, what I've seen is marketing guys taking that leverage of that 40 leads out of 100, which not even turn into the site visit or interested follow, and they'll keep nurturing using emails, using bots, WhatsApp, SMS, or maybe assign it to the rep who comes new and keep them engaged with our all different deliverables which we have. These
Hmm.
organizations I've seen a look in terms of the conversions, in terms of the way that they have scaled up in last, I would say, 24 months
Hmm.
is huge. So what I've seen is yes, marketing that you have said, the way that we have to look at our ICP, create our campaigns, use technology, and eventually using tools like marketing automations, capturing lead, and at least one platform for all your operations. So that has helped.
Hmm.
And with that, Mr. Naveen and Abhijit, one quick pointer from your side in terms of the marketing automation where you feel that you have personally seen a lot of results coming in your in operations or daily day processes.
Right. So I think in my experience, Naveen sir rightly mentioned about the WhatsApp thing. In fact, I got to heard it from one of my clients also. So whenever we have a client, the gestation period here in India for Dubai real estate is a bit high. People might take 1.5, 2 years also. Doesn't mean that he is not a qualified client. It is just that he is not looking for that property right now. He might buy after a year or after 15 months, I would say, right? So in that case,
Right.
personally, we at Midas, we use automations a lot, both email and WhatsApp. Email work in the Western countries a bit more than what it work here in India and subcontinent. So that's why WhatsApp is something that we have been using a lot, using different providers, I would say. Uh, yeah, I was telling about the client. So the client told me that whenever you are messaging me through WhatsApp or doing a broadcast, it feels like the vegetable vendor that comes to a market and then splashes some kind of water on the fruits to keep it fresh, right? So similarly, this is
Right.
our way of keeping the leads fresh, right? So that
Mm.
helps a lot. That uh, basically punches the thing into the mind of the customer that yeah, this particular person or this company is still doing Dubai real estate. There are deals coming up
That's
in
correct.
Dubai real estate. And with the kind of the performance which the market has given, I still remember people from past year whom I sent messages about JVC. They're asking me for a
Mm.
3 bed in JVC at 1 million, which was back there in 2022. So they're replying to those WhatsApp messages and telling me this deal. So that's not
Hmm.
possible, right? But that pumps up the confidence in both agency and the market of the customer. So yeah, that's the thing that we guys do use regularly.
The to add to that, basically what we do is see, one of the biggest problems that as marketers, real estate marketers, we face is, the lead does not get attended to by the agent. Maybe he is busy, maybe he
Mm.
is not in the mood, or what the reason it is. So we have something where you have a certain period of time which we have given for a particular agent to respond to a particular lead as soon as it comes in. So it could be as less as 20 minutes. And if the agent is busy, automatically the CRM system allocates it to the next agent who is free. Okay, so there are
Right.
there are certain parameters which we keep, and then so the lead gets gets revolved. Okay. The
Right.
other thing what we do is we've seen some agents who are, I don't know for what reason, they've been given a lead, and the lead, without even calling the lead, they've said that it was a wrong number. Okay, what was the purpose
Mm.
behind it? Whether he wanted to give it outside to some friend of his, or I don't know what the reason is. But then without even calling the person, the guy has said that it's a wrong number. So we had a system where in case there is a wrong number, it goes to the call center, and the call center girl actually does a feedback call, and says that, sir, you had registered with us. How was the response of the agent? And the guy says that nobody called me. So at least without blindly looking at what the CRM tells you, if you have these automation systems and you let the agent know, that of course you put that it was a wrong number. We called, we connected with the same person. Let's say Atharv had registered. We called and it was
Mm.
Atharv who answered. So how are you saying that it's a wrong number? Okay. And Atharv said that nobody called from our side. So what is this? And
Right.
so the other agents, they started realizing that, oh, we cannot fool around. you know so these are
Mm.
these are
Right.
little automations within the CRM system itself, which you need to take care. I mean, you will not be the favorite person of all the 50-40 agents who are working for you. They'll be
Right.
like, get to know this guy. you know but you need to be like that. You need to be a little smart to actually tweak the system so that they don't take you for
Absolutely.
granted. Because at the end of the day, if sales doesn't happen, your neck is on the line. Because they're going to get up and say that, hey, the marketing did not do the job, the leads were bad, and we're just sitting here. All you get is wrong numbers. Like, I got 50 wrong numbers, but then, hey, like, you
Mm.
never call those 50 numbers. So there is a door.
Mm.
You can go out. We don't need people like you. So that has happened. So these are like couple of examples which we have done, and that has in turn, like, been taken well by the management, and in turn, like, over a little bit of friction, then taken well by the team as well, by the sales team as well. And that those things work. So over a period of time, of course, there is, like, there's always a fight.
Perfect. I think that's really helpful, Mr. Naveen, the way that you have articulated in terms of the daily use cases that somebody in the audience would love to see. And I think I also resonate to that point because I get a lot of such questions every day, especially from the brokerage that, okay, few questions like if the agent goes, what happens to that lead?
Hmm.
And I think at the end of the day, it's all the company's properties, all those interests or contacts or personas,
Hmm.
and the way that you have scaled up in terms of creating such automations and giving out to the guy who's really aggressive enough to earn commissions, who's
Hmm.
aggressive enough to update the lead, and that's
Hmm.
not only just updating about the lead, but it also gets as a feedback to the marketing
Hmm.
team. Okay, yes, from my this campaign we
Yeah.
have generated, I think, not so good quality leads. So maybe I would have to tweak it in this way. And or
Correct.
what I think Mr. Nabi said in the starting, that you have to define your persona and then maybe generate those social media leads. So yeah, I think that is one of the cases that I have seen regularly during my discussions with all the industry experts and champions, that they have scaled their organization in terms of the technology. And what I've also believed is, if once you deploy such automations, I think yes, what you have said, it will take some time or a bit of friction in the starting, but
Hmm.
once it is deployed, it becomes a part of your culture. So the next time the new agent joins in, he understands, okay, boss, this is how this organization works. I have to
Hmm.
update my notes. I have to react quick. I have to make sure that I update everything on the system, or else I lose that opportunity up. And
Hmm.
so it becomes a pattern then. And at the end of the day, the marketing is happy because they get a correct insight, and their cost of lead is now getting optimized. The sales head or the sales manager or the floor manager can now take up a call saying that, boss, person A, I have allocated these many leads and he has just converted 10 out of it. And person B with half of the leads is maybe able to beat that percentage conversion logic. So
Hmm.
that is where the sales efficiency comes in. So it's not always about the lead quality, but it always depends upon the way that you articulate to the lead, the voice, the pitch, the positioning. And
Hmm.
that's when the feedback loops also comes in. So after a site visit, there's a feedback loop saying that you get an SMS or a landing page link said, how did you like the site visit or the viewing? Any feedback or any response against the property or the agent, and so on and so forth. So these are some corrective inputs that I see that are constantly added to the whole sales cycle of a lead, which
Hmm.
might take today and might again become a lead for you down the line.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's really helpful. I think the audience would also love it in terms of how we are able to not only focus on the acquisition but also onto the engagement, and also the third part is the eventually the agents and the entire op structure of it. So with this, I think. So what is the new thing that I want to focus? What are the next takeaways? So real estate market trends, one should definitely practice building better in terms of across the functions, within the function. New launches are coming up. This is a time that everyone is very aggressive. So Abhijit, maybe to start with, what are the few practices that one should follow?
See, we have talked enough about lead nurturing, which one should definitely practice. Usage of AI is another thing that we have mentioned. One thing which I missed out was the use of remarketing and retargeting. So, out of the 65,000 agents, I have audited many agents. You'll be surprised to hear approximately 90% of them don't have a pixel installed on their website. So that's something which is really, really important. People are underutilizing platforms to an extent that you're getting CPL for less than a dirham for a property like MR Clearpoint, right? I'm talking about Quora. We run some ads on Quora in the US
Mhm.
market, and we got a CPL of 0.97 dirhams. So that too for
That's
Clearpoint,
it.
and that was all good quality leads, right? So mixing of platforms using the data of, say, LinkedIn campaign, and then retargeting that particular person using Google Display Network or YouTube ads, these kind of things. I believe this will help a lot. And of course, the AI and nurturing part is always there.
Right. That's really helpful, Mr. Naveen. If you want to add something to it, what is something that somebody should take away from this session in terms of the future deployment and
I think Abhijit was
future
also
deployment?
mentioning about Pinterest as well. Somebody had used
Yeah,
Pinterest very
Yeah,
effectively.
right.
interest.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a leading real estate agency in Dubai. I was auditing
Mm.
their marketing strategies, and surprisingly, they were closing deals from Russia a lot. So I was surprised, where are they getting all their leads, right? So Facebook was banned in Russia. Google was banned in
Russia.
Russia. So I saw that they are running ads on Pinterest, which nobody else was running, right?
Okay.
So using Pinterest, they're driving insane amount of traffic on their landing pages. which were, of course, optimized for Russian buyers. It was made in Russian language. So I think these are all the things that we need to look as a marketer, the avenues, what different other marketers are doing, how are they getting good quality leads, like regularly seeking in the ads library of Facebook and LinkedIn now have ads library, of course, activated. So these things will definitely help, uh, apart from all that we've mentioned.
Absolutely. Mr.
Yeah, I
Naveen,
think it's a mix of. I mean, see, marketing is all about being different from what the others are doing. So if you're clever enough, if you're a clever marketer, you would try to see, uh, you start to think outside the box, and that marketing works. And any
Right.
marketing which kind of goes from a digital to a real life back to a digital, that also works. So
Right.
using these two, what do you call it, insights, if you can work around your whole marketing, using the marketing mix, the channel mix, and your strategy put together, I think that works beautifully. So while others are putting money into Facebook and Google and burning money, I think it's all about trying to be different. And Pinterest was a great example. I was like, that was amazing. So that sort of a thing, if somebody has figured it out, somebody's thought, I mean, it was clever of whoever did it. I mean,
Yeah.
really, very clever of that guy to do it. And of course, that kind of works.
Correct.
perfect. I think we have got some questions also from the audience. So I think, Jagruti, if you're there, so we can pick those questions because there are a lot of polls which are running at the back end, a lot of questions from the audience. So over to you, Jagruti, with that.
Thank you so much, Atharv. I think I was just taking a lot of notes, and I already have at least two or three of my blogs planned out for at least the next month. So
Great.
thank you so much for sharing so much information, and it was really helpful. I think a lot of insights and a little bit of like nitty gritty insights which people normally might not consider or think of. Those kind of things were shared in today's session, and I think it was amazing being a fly on the wall in the back end. So we did have a couple of questions that were asked by the audience when they registered for the session. So when we talk about lead generation per se, a lot of like a lot of businesses always face the difference between having attracting a lot of quantity of leads and having quality of leads, right? So one of the audience member had asked, how do we focus on generating quality leads over quantity of leads?
See, I would say quality leads will definitely come at a higher price, but that's totally okay. Google generally gives you good leads. When it comes to Facebook or other social media platforms, I believe narrowing down the audience is a very good idea. So, if I talk about our strategy, what we do here in India is, for Dubai real estate, we do target people who have interest in luxury things, may it be luxury clothing brands, or may it be developers like MR Eldar. If someone in India is knowing about Eldar, it's a huge thing for me, right? So those sort of things, and then I narrow them down on the basis of people in India who prefer high value goods, or people who are frequent international travelers, right? So this sort of gives me a kind of a cream audience, which definitely gives me quality leads. And of course, again, retargeting them. I can relate to one of the campaign that I ran for St. Regis. It was launched in downtown by MR. I launched a video campaign using the same audience set, and it was a three-level campaign wherein I first showed the viewers a video which was around a minute or so, and then the next ad was targeted to people who watched the video more than 50%. So gradually, the number of leads that I got during the whole campaign were the least at the lower stage of the funnel, but they were quality leads. I was able to convert 5 leads for St. Regis, which was, I believe, it was the biggest success in terms of ROI for me that has been there.
My strategy is I don't use the native forms for
Mm-hmm.
from Facebook or Instagram. What I do is I use a landing page strategy. So 30% of the information is given to the client. I do not put any prices, any floor plans, any of those things, because that's what that is a curiosity hook which
Right.
I'm using to get the lead to to register. So the front page actually has just basic information, which is name, email address, phone number, and like a free field to put in what his inquiry is. Once he's filled and once I've captured his interest, then there is a survey form which asks more information about what his budget is, what is he kind of looking at, which area is he looking at, or what is the kind of property that he's looking at out of the property types that we have already got in that particular project. And these are not pre-filled forms, so the guy actually has to take the time to fill in his name, his phone number, and everything. Usually what we have seen is if somebody takes the trouble of actually filling that particular form, he is interested, because otherwise why would you'll just close the thing and go away. My cost per lead is high, but the quality is amazing. So every time I do not get, like, maybe one or two cases where they said that, oh, my kid was playing with the phone and he must have, or somebody must have played a prank. That happens. But then other than that, I don't get any drivers, I don't get any people looking for jobs on these landing pages. So that has kind of worked for me. So that's the way to get quality versus quantity. If you want to get quantity, then of course you can do a lead generation campaign and then kind of filter it, but then the cost per lead again comes out to the same as doing a landing page. So if you've got 10 good leads for like $300, and you've got 50 or 100 leads for maybe $150, it's the same thing. Then you're filtering out, and then your team is also frustrated calling them and saying that marketing is not doing a good job and all the leads are bad and things like that. So that's been my strategy, and that has been worked so far for me.
Yes, I think that is always the case where marketers always find it difficult to ask for higher budgets or to ask for more money to run experiments, because at the end of the day, it's all about the ROI. And when you can't sort of justify the ROI, and especially when you have a longer sales cycle, so
Hmm.
what happens is you don't really see the benefits of a campaign that you would have run. Like Abhijit was mentioning, that he would have run a nurturing campaign maybe last year, but he's getting responses right now also.
Hmm.
Although this is a very, because the market is very, very competitive and it has a lot of demand.
Hmm.
Of course, this wouldn't be an advantage in our case, but still, nevertheless, you always see that the benefits of, like, whenever, whichever strategy even paid, sort of has now the runway has increased because our sales cycle has increased. And also because of ads and native content, what happens is they keep seeing our brand pop up every now and then. And so
Hmm.
that is why they're like, yeah, in the back of their mind, yeah, right now I don't need a property, but I do have somebody I can reach out to when the need arises. And funnily enough, actually, we did have another question which was talking about uh, doing lead gen campaigns, like using native forms versus landing page. So, Abhijit, if you have any thoughts on how you utilize or balance landing pages as well as lead gen campaigns.
See, I do use both, I would say, right? Of course, landing pages is a better pick any day, because that's giving you the pixel data, that's giving you the data of customer on which you can retarget on any platform, not just on Facebook or the platform from which you're using or running the campaign. Right. So I use a mix of both, but when I'm using the standard instant forms that Facebook or LinkedIn provide, I do generally keep a manual question, right? So one can actually put in some kind of effort in terms of giving his or her information out, right? So that's my way of doing it. And of course, post one is there on my landing page. If someone is reached on my landing page, that's the major thing, right? I don't want to lose that customer. So after that, it's altogether a different ball game, wherein I'll see if there's any problem with the landing page involved, right? I'll see wherein I can market that. For example, I mentioned YouTube also. People are underutilizing YouTube also. So the hottest customer which one can get is through YouTube, right? uh, Hottest customer, by hottest customer I mean someone who is looking to buy. He'll go to YouTube and see the area. He'll search for downtown or JVC, right? He'll search for the developer also. He'll search for the kind of layout on YouTube also. So you can actually put your ad right in front of the person who has invested, I don't know how much dollars in making that video, right? So you're just stealing that audience also in case you're retargeting ads on YouTube. So that's one way of doing it.
Right. That's really helpful, Abhijit.
Yeah. And the next question that I have is, sometimes when it's a cash deal, it's difficult for agents to sort of outright ask or show proof of funds to the customer, right? And so, is there any tactics or any strategies that you all apply where it doesn't sound too cocky that, okay, please, like, is there any proof of funds that you can show it to us?
That's not a marketing question.
I understand, but it's also about.
That's a pure play agent question. That's his problem, not ours. Show us the proof of funds, we'll take it.
Right.
And I think one last question that we had was in terms of targeting. We haven't really talked much about targeting. Like, yeah, we do say that target your ICP, target the correct persona, but what exactly do we mean by correct persona for any real estate business, and how do we use targeting on different platforms? Like you mentioned that Google is intent based, so we can add keywords, or social media is interest based, so we can add that. So is there any other certain tactics that we use to target better, or not keep the audience very broad?
Okay, let me answer that. So I'll put my advertising hat on. So basically, every time in my previous life, I used to be an advertiser. Okay, and what we did was, whenever we were launching a product, whether it's a shoe or whether it is a perfume or whether it is a banking product, so what we do is we create a sort of a persona. So this is, let's say, Mr. Naidu, for instance. You just give him a name. He is married. He's got this much. So let's say you're looking at a product in downtown. It's a 1 bedroom. Okay. Now it's not meant for a married person. Okay. Or it's married. It's meant for a married person, but it's not meant for a married person with 2 kids. Because where is he going to stay? Where is his wife going to stay? And where are the 2 kids going to stay? Okay. So when you're marketing a product like that, where the whole building is only a studio and 1 bedroom, then it's not good enough for you to market something to a person who is married and who's got kids and who's got, I mean, that doesn't work. So you kind of narrow it down to a person who is newly married or that sort of a thing. So if you think about it, go backwards, spend like maybe 5 minutes thinking about who is the ideal person who would actually buy this product. Okay, then put yourself in that person's shoes and say, okay, I have got this much money. What am I going to look at? Okay, what am I interested in? Now you say, okay, let me do one thing. Okay, 1 bedroom studio or whatever. I'm going to look at people who are interested in Ferraris. Wrong audience.
Wrong.
Just because you've put Ferraris, Rolls Royce, he's got interest, Dubai hai, ye hai, wo hai. Same keywords, again put it here, slap, and then you getting the wrong kind of people, because people who are interested in a Ferrari is not interested in your 1 bedroom.
Correct.
Complete mismatch. So think, as a marketer, all you need to do is common sense here. It's like match the following. बचपन में हम लोग करते थे ना, A goes to this. It's as simple as that. So all you
Right.
need to do is, this is the guy, and this is his budget, this is his interest. Now market it. So these are the websites he's going to go at, and these are the interests that he has got, and this is his, this is his geography, and that's it. So these are the different parameters you've got. It's not too much. And if you use your common sense, you'll find the right leads and you'll find the right people, and you'll also have the negative keywords where you cut out the people like brokers and things like that, or job seekers and all that, and that's it.
Abhijit, do you have any thoughts to
No,
share?
no, I totally agree with that. So whenever you're marketing for a product, you have to know the product first before marketing it, right? For example,
Mm,
sir said about a building with a studio and one bedroom. I can relate to a building in Business Bay. It is Zada Tower by Demac. So they had 699 one
mm,
bedroom apartments. So nobody in their right mind would market it to a person who's looking for a villa, right? And if you're marketing to the same audience for a villa and apartment, then also you are doing it wrong, right? So it
Mm.
totally depends on the kind of buyer persona also. So you have to figure that out first, and then you have to put on all the targeting options that you have.
I think, yeah, that's really true.
Absolutely.
Sometimes what happens is, as marketers, or when the pressure sort of builds up that we need leads, we need
Mm.
more leads from, be it business or sales or wherever, we sort of just run a one hit wonder campaign and then sit on it. Basically, yes,
Hmm.
this has worked for me in the past. I think it'll keep working for me. What we don't understand is we need to always keep changing, keep tracking it, measuring it, make those little changes, but don't overdo it, because as we
Mm.
understand, all these platforms have their native algorithms. They take their time to learn, and then they'll be able to. So yeah, the sweet spot, I think, is keep making changes, but not too often.
Yeah. See, actually,
Right,
control C, control V doesn't work. You know, you always have to start with a clean canvas, think, understand the project, and then do your,
Right.
it takes you, you're a marketer, your main job is at the start of it. The whole thing is about planning that campaign. And if you do not enjoy that, then, get out of that marketing business, do something else, become a
right,
broker. So if you enjoy doing what you're doing, take your time. It just takes you 3-4 hours, that's it. But then
Right.
put your headphones on, set focus, and do your work, and then see the results, then enjoy the results.
right. So as sir said, there are 65,000 brokers in Dubai. There are, I mean, millions of digital marketers in India,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everyone is a
Absolutely.
digital marketer. The place of LIC agent has been taken by a digital marketer, right? So every now and then you see one guy doing digital marketing, and that's good. That's good, because that improves the worth of a good digital marketer, right? So I think enjoying the process is really important, as sir said.
And thank you so much, Abhijit and Naveen. I think, like I mentioned earlier, even the insights we got from the audience questions was also really good. I have one more topic planned now, and I would just like to thank all three of you all for taking so much time out and helping our audience understand what is marketing in a cutthroat business like real estate a little bit better. And we would of course like to see you for any future webinars also, and
Pleasure,
sessions.
anytime.
And it was a great time collaborating with both of you all.
Thank you so much, Jagriti.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
very
reaching out, and my pleasure, absolutely.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Same
Thank you,
here. Thank you,
Naveen ji. Thank you, Abhijit.
thank you, Tarun.
Thank you,
Pleasure.
Atharv. Thank you, Abhijit.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
everyone.
Bye bye.
We hope to see you
Bye.
for future sessions as well.
Right.